So, recently I was on YouTube and I saw someone doing a Let's Play for a game called Worldbox. And being on my sort of Tales of Maj'Eyal sort of creative kick for a while here, I figured I'm going to make myself a representation of Tales of Maj'Eyal in this game during the Age of Allure. So, for those who aren't basically aware of the Age of Allure, it's basically I guess the second age of the world of Maj'Eyal for the most part. Essentially, during this time, we don't really have the spellblades going off just yet. So all the lands basically aren't as corrupt and destroyed as they basically come to be in Age of Ascendancy. Some basically notable changes are basically seen here. Note that we don't have the big central mountain range right here because basically in the lore for the Fey Wolves escapades I basically wrote. I stated this is a plain area basically, so right here, all flat lands you basically see from one end to the other, and I figured this would be a great way of basically sort of showing a sort of savanna biome right here. Also note that over here on this side of the map, there's no desert over here because it hasn't been flooded with sand just yet. So all the sand is basically on the beach. There's lots of land basically for corn space to sell there. And yeah, basically it's the world of Maj'Eyal. Also note that basically there's also this landmass over here. This is basically where the Meldrop humans and the Noloran would basically be on this side of the continent. I couldn't really make it too big because I need a lot of space for the rest of Maj'Eyal, so it's just a sort of sliver of a piece of land over here. But you can basically make out where the land basically fell off the continent right there, so it's good enough. Now, after basically sort of making this sort of kingdom here, it got me thinking about where would everyone be basically settled on this sort of landmass. So here's basically a whole lot a lot of someone's basically placed down to sort of populate the world of Maj'Eyal. I'll note that down here in the shoreline lands we basically have Elvia and farms and there's the frontier basically up here. We also have a bunch of corners basically all over the place because there's all over the place. We have the halfling capital up here, which is of course the home of the Nargles. Nearby we have the Yeeks and we have the Incident Orcs because the Nargles early on basically slaved them, so they basically have them nearby basically somewhere. Up here we have the Florin, and we basically have Shaturba also face homeland basically over here. We basically have the Eldoran halflings, they're basically nestled here basically just outside the Orcs. And the Orcs basically have their own sort of a little area here, a cave sort of area. And I'll just basically some frostbite up here. That's just Worldbox doesn't actually stop you from making summons basically in the permafrost area, so yeah, they're up there. Down the sort of main human lands down here, we have the Conclave. We also have over here the Mardrop lands. We have the Higher Men over here. We have essentially the precursors to Last Hope and Dreadfall basically over here and here. The Cockcruel basically get wiped out during after the Spellblaze, so that's basically I guess where I'm going to put them. They could actually be maybe somewhere over here or something like that. I want to be sort of close by to where Ziggurat's basically going to be, so it makes sense basically having somewhere over here I think. Over here we have horse have the shoulder humans, so those are basically the ones that get wiped out in the lore. We have the Noloran up here, and this somewhere right here we'll all see is basically the can't go in and basically gets constantly wiped out by the evil demon. Note by the way as well we have the Iron Throne, and of course we have a bit of Dwarven Mires here, dwarves right there, makes sense. And also basically sort of a thing on this map and not the other ones, but I have a small kingdom down here for Drees Kingdom because Southfire was basically in the lore, so it had to be in there somewhere, right? So I figured I'm just gonna throw it right down here, and maybe it's here, maybe it's not, but there's Southspire for Pale Drake's story and stuff like that. And yeah, here's the thing. Like, is this fairly good representation where, like, the different races basically, like, Maj'Eyal basically are going to be? We have, like, corners basically everywhere and anywhere. Um, the shoulders basically get wiped out, so it's fine for me, like, right there. And why not? Let's just, like, sort of, run this for a little bit, so. Let's just let the world be. Now, one thing I basically note, by the way, is that, like, it's constantly always going to be, like, making, like, these new stones and stuff like that, so. We'll call this, like, Desert Shaloran, because why not? So. Desert Nomad Wanderers. Shaloran Desert People. So it's not really desert, is it? So. Shaloran Herders, why not? I don't know what they're hurting, but, they can hurt something right there. It's like a great way of, like, still, like, getting some ideas basically, because, like, we basically have, like, all this, like, someone's basically, like, being made and stuff, like, wandering around, interacting with each other. Now, note, by the way, like, it's very early on in the game, but, eventually these guys will go to war with each other. It is turned on that, like, there's rebellions, there's, like, diplomacy, king expansion, all this other stuff. Now, I should probably actually point out something as well, by the way. In, like, Worldbox, there's only, like, 4 races you can actually, like, sort of, like, choose to basically play, like, place down. There's, of course, like, the elves, which basically have, like, in, like, the free, like, areas for, like, the Nuloran, the Floran, and, like, the Shaloran. I also got, like, of course, like, the dwarves, because, dwarves. But, and yeah, I also have, like, the orc space up here as well, and, like, of course, right there. But the thing about the halflings and the yeeks is that I had to make them sort of, like, human, because, like, um, there's just not enough races basically in, like, Worldbox or like, halflings or gnomes or stuff like that. And I made them human as well, because, like, these guys basically eventually, like, become an empire to sort of conquer stuff, right? So, yeah. And slowly since develop and, like, get built. So, a settlement got found somewhere. Is that up here? Yep, so the orcs basically made themselves, like, their own settlement basically up there. There's been a whole lot of, like, new ones being formed, but just, like, actually part of it's been over here, so. Winterland. I kind of wonder if I actually just sort of, like, sort of minimized it, but, like, just how, like, Eldoro, well, Eldoro, Nargol, orcs, humans. I think I'm, like, the role, like, sort of pre-populated makes sense, so it's fine. Where's this guy being, like, created? Oh, so the, like, Florence made, like, a sort of snow village up here. So, Snow Florin. Someone made a, village right here, I guess it's for the Yeeks. So, Yeekville. I'm impressed that the Yeeks are doing so well. But, they're actually on a fairly good biome, so that makes sense. These guys made a settlement right here, so Port Town. Now, multi each of these like sort of like civilizations, they have sort of like their own backgrounds. I figure for like the guys both over here, these guys basically are probably the ones that actually escaped over to Maj'Eyal over here. So it makes sense. Like they're probably gonna have a port down, so that's fine. Oh, someone found a new town. Another two towns. My phone went off for a moment, so I'm just gonna quickly see what's going on and be right back, I guess. Alright, well. These guys established a couple cities, I think. Or maybe these guys established one, I'm not really sure. There's the Snow Cornac homes. I find it interesting that the Eldora Halflings got all the way over here, because they basically blocked off the, the orcs up here. Now, it's worth knowing that basically, forests don't actually aren't like a barrier in Worldbox, so I have forests basically, all through here, for example, but it's actually stopping anything from happening. Apparently, these guys are making some alliances over here. So we got alliances being formed. Who's allying with who? Whoop, we have a... This being formed up here, apparently. Let's just call these guys Floor and Outcast, because, I actually have, in the Fable story, there's, Outcasts, somewhere, so why not living up there? Alright, so it's basically just, alliance here of, the Kingdom, Floor and Summit, the Eldorans, and the North Cornac, so... These guys allied with, the Eldorans over there, of course, and the North Cornacs, which are basically over here, I think. Yeah, they're allied to each other right here, these guys. Interesting way to sort of keep these guys sort of alive before the Nautilus basically come after them. I haven't really figured out yet how to basically sort of change the technology for these guys yet, by the way, so that's sort of something that I would like to sort of do. Where you kind of just kind of maybe 10 times the technology like everyone else around, so it can be a dominating force. Now, I don't know if I can actually control, if these guys go to war with each other and stuff like that, so... I got another alliance here, we have, something happening right there. So basically something might summon over here, so... Sovereign Mages. Maybe that's basically the land, connected to, the elves, basically, right over here, that basically gets wiped out by, the humans. Who knows? Another village was founded over here. They're connected to this guy over here, I guess, so... I'll probably stop renaming at some point, but, By the way, we have like in our lines here, so we have the Sword of Astral and the Tree of the People. Apparently Drake's Kingdom allied with like, these guys over here, so apparently Drake's allied with them all the way up here. That's interesting. We have the Tree of the People, so that's Merchant Routes and the Shalorn, so that's actually a fairly interesting sort of line, especially if like these guys allied to each other right here. So I have Soren villages right there. My phone is now going off because someone's decided to message me. I'll get to that soon enough, but whatever. Why not? Nolan Fishman right there. Oh! We have a war from the Florin on the Orcs. So, in this game, it's worth doing it. The elves basically don't like the orcs very much, so they're very much like hostile about going to war and stuff like that. Let's see, I need to go like this and this. So basically, right now they're at war with the orcs. The Red Clash. So basically, they're at war right now. I can see their armies basically like, with these like little flags right here. So. Oh, the Korak Sellers declared war on the Lumberjack men. So these guys are going to war with like those guys right there. There's some alliances being formed over here. I guess you're trying to get the war with like these guys right here. We have the Korak Summit here and the Shoreline Farmers basically allying up. So, these guys over here basically allying to each other. The King of Shalorn declared war on the Shalorn Farmers. And, they're sort of like dominating each other because, why not? The wars are starting to happen, finally. And people are getting killed by the way as well, so that's happening. Treated great. Is there an alliance here? So you have like, the Yeeks and the Cholon Settlers, so they allied to each other right there. Oh! The King of Merchant Routes got destroyed. So someone killed off the Merchant Routes over here, I guess. Yes, lots of stuff is happening now, and they look like they're getting conquered. Now, note by the way, when the same races basically like, attack each other, they'll actually like, absorb basically like the other like, elves. So if elves attack elves, they basically absorb each other. But I'll note that if like the orcs basically attack the orcs, or like the elves, then that's a little bit different because like, basically they're gonna wipe each other out if they're different races, but if they're same races, they absorb each other. So the Orc Frostmen declared war on the Dwarven Miners. I have no idea why, but okay. New alliance is formed again, so we have the Mythic Eunuch between the Shoreline Herders and the Mardrop lands. So these guys allied with them. World War, have 10 kingdoms at war. So Drake's Kingdom declared war on the innocent orcs over here. The poor innocent orcs. Oh, the Snow Swarm was destroyed. They got destroyed up here. And the dwarves are attacking someone, or they're making alliance with someone, rather. So the dwarves basically allied with the Mardrop lands and the Shoreline Herders. There's a couple guys allied over here. These are still out of the shore, you know, shore and stuff like that. These guys are sort of chilling up here. There's sort of like a way to like just show like only like, you know, alliances, but I'm not really sure how to basically do that just yet, so. Oh, there we go. So you can see like, you know, these guys are like all in my alliance right here. You can see like these guys are in alliance right here. And chaos is brewing. Oh yeah, by the way, there's actually boats in this game. And they're going up and down the rivers because, you know, the rivers are basically big enough for boats, I guess. And war's being declared everywhere! Oh, something got destroyed, I think. Or maybe, like, you know, Mythic Unit, that's just, like, powered demo there, that's fine. See, I know, by the way, like, you know, how the alliance game basically works here. You can basically see, like, the alliances basically, you know, being, like, you know, described right here. You can see, like, who's not in alliance, so Oblivious Cronks are in alliance up here. The Nargles are basically, like, you know, just by themselves. You have the Sword of Astral Alliance base right there. The Florin by themselves. The Orcs by themselves, apparently. Oh, the King of Higher Men was destroyed, so the Hires got destroyed by, like, you know, the pre-summon men. So the Maldrop conquered the Hires. A new village was basically formed. Apparently that's a new village right there. On that little small little island, basically, in, like, you know, that lake right there. The shoreline got down here, apparently. I'm not going to bother renaming stuff at this point. It's just chaos at this point, so. Now, at this point, it's just, you know, obvious chaos, but why not? We'll watch the chaos. It's the thing about, like, you know, Worldbox, by the way, is like, you can have, like, these, like, you know, kingdoms basically going after each other like this. In case you wonder, like, who's gonna, like, survive, who's gonna get wiped out. Who will remain? Who will not? The dwarves declared war on the dwarven miners, so if they conquer each other, they'll basically combine in one, like, you know, group. So that's being conquered, and basically now the dwarves are united again. For some reason, the Conclave Farmlands got moved all the way down here, so they're being conquered now by the settlers. Oh, the North Cronks was declared war on the Nargles. So Nargles might get conquered by the Cornax. And there goes the Nargles. So the Nargles have been conquered by the Cornax as opposed to, like, the other way around. Oh nope, but I could ally people up to you know, with each other, so. I thought I could make an alliance, but I guess, like, break alliances, I guess, but whatever. So Frostmen are gonna try and go after someone, apparently. The dwarves declare war on Aloran. So the orc frostmen. So everyone's going after Aloran here. And again, if like these guys like attack like a non like dwarven or orc race, basically destroy it. So they just commit genocide over here, basically these guys. Yeah, basically Nalsi was destroyed. There goes the Aloran. These guys are getting pretty big up here. The Eldoran, the Oh, the orcs declare war on the orc frostmen. They might see orc frontier. Orcs are usually pretty strong by the way in this game, so Demi United is actually a pretty big threat, even though these guys are like 500 population. Not that being the biggest makes everyone like hate you, so they might be headed soon. Oh, they're gonna try and conquer this village up here. So they took that. And they're taking out the Blues Cornish up here. Right now I have like two wars going on. We have like the War of Broken Promises between the King of Conclave and the King of Winery. And the Broken Dreams between like, the Cornish Summits, the Free Cornax, and Shaloran. These guys are fighting and like, these guys up here are fighting. They stopped their war. The dwarves decided to attack the Cornax settlers over here apparently. I don't really see any army between these two people right here, which is kind of odd. Now, obviously, this outcome would be a lot more different if I could actually have like a halfling race basically in here, as opposed to like everyone being human. It's been colonized by someone over here, the Yeek lands. Or at least, these be the Yeek lands basically in like the Age of Ascendancy. They're not Yeek lands just yet. There's a bunch of wars going on right now. So we have the Bloody War, which basically a whole lot of these guys basically fighting each other. Like, a lot of people. We have the Shoreland Settlers, the Yeeks, and the Cornish Settlers basically fighting each other. Priest-Tunnel Men, Mardrop Lands, Dwarves, and Shoreland Horrors basically fighting the Cornish Settlers. Conclave versus Winery still. People are fighting each other right here. It's worth knowing that these guys sort of can get to each other if they go over to Shallow Water, I guess, I think. But there's lots of like deep water everywhere else as well, so they need ship space to get across to some of these like places as well. Battle's happening up here apparently. Let's slow this down by the way so you can actually see this a little bit, a bit slower. Down here we got in our battle happening. People firing some bows at each other. Yeah, these guys have tech levels by the way, so they basically develop actually bows and better weapons. So right now these guys have wooden bows. The Red War of Yuks has ended, apparently. There's a battle happening over here between the elves and humans, I think. I'm not bothered these guys have HP as well, by the way, so you can see, like, you know, their kills and stuff like that if you click on them. For those who never like to play Worldbox. Got this guy over here, it's like 26 HP, but he's like doing whatever he can. Yay! Unlocked 20 traits apparently. I got an achievement. We're gonna attack this windmill. This brave elf, I guess, is coming up to attack him. There goes the windmill. Speed it back up a little bit. Watch these guys get destroyed. Yeah, stuff is being found and destroyed like over and over again, because you know how a game basically goes. I have no idea what these two are basically doing to each other, but there's constantly a war of like, you know, nothing, so to speak. So apparently the biggest alliance here is Mythic Union, followed by sort of Astro at this point. And apparently these guys are down here on, like, you know, this area, because why not? So that's part of the Conclave farmlands over here, these guys. Interesting. Who are you going to go after war? And some more wars get declared. You're going after war against him. These guys are going after the Conclave farmland and trying to take him out finally. So there's like, you know, take out that, and I have to take out this, and the Conclave farmlands are basically gone. So these guys are basically sort of even to each other, but whatever. I find funny this is Shalorn down here now. They've wiped out everyone else over here. Oh, the winery is dead. Or like, you know, the king of the winery is dead. You know what's probably the problem here is I made this like bar too deep, so they can't actually cross like the channel to basically get to each other, these guys. I mean, the Conclave and Winery are right next to each other, but they actually can't, like, you know, get to each other as a thing. So we got basically two wars here. The Conclave versus the Winery, still. And we got Shalorn Sellers, Yeeks, and the Shalorn basically fighting each other. So they're basically fighting each other right here. I should probably note that these guys will die of old age sometimes, so they may not be dying like from wars and stuff like that. They might be dying like, you know, just from old age or starvation or stuff like that. Oh, we have like the war between Tree of the Great and sort of Astral. The village is destroyed. They're being conquered over here, these guys. Alright, so there goes those guys. Deeks. Now this is Shalorn over here. They're being conquered by Shalorn. So the Shalorn basically are like, right there. This village is right here to conquer and, they see like unite themselves. I'm not sure what the symbol basically means, but I think he's trying to do something. He's trying to, like, break alliances or something like that, but he doesn't have an alliance, so... Oh, someone's being conquered right here. Someone's being conquered right there. I think these two are fighting each other. We're seeing land get trade back and forth from these two right here. Oh, there's some battles happening over here. I think the leader who was right there basically got killed. Pretty sure it's the Eldorians basically down here attacking. Now I got a new, like, King of Eldorians. Oh, they're taking back some of the land, or trying to. Eventually someone's going to land a boat on a Conclave's area and it's like, sort of take them that way, but whatever. Apparently, like, this, South Spire got conquered by, like, these guys right here. At some point. It's funny. I think these guys have more land, but these guys basically have more population because all the kingdoms basically spawned over here, right? So... Oh, the orcs are battling some people. There's natural disasters in this game, by the way, but I'm not really sure if any are happening right now. I got conquered. The wars right now are the orcs versus the Shalorn, and, the two big alliances basically fighting each other. I'm surprised the orcs are holding on as, like, well, they basically are, like, up here in the corner of the map. They aren't allied to anyone, basically, is the thing, right? So, they should be being picked off, but, these guys are too busy fighting each other. No idea what the Shalorn down here are basically doing, fighting, like, the orcs all over there, but, elves don't like orcs, so whatever. And, oh, this has been conquered. Bomb battles up here. Oh, this has been conquered back. Alright, well, I feel this is basically like long enough to actually like, show off like the basic gist of this game. I don't know if I want to, I can actually like sort of like, add in like sort of like events at this point. Like honestly, there's like no like, spell blaze or anything like that happening, but we could have like, evil wizards starting to pop out, or bandits, necromancers, old ones, I guess, or whatever. Let's just put down a few like of these guys basically everywhere. So boink, 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 boink. Necromancers. Now the population is rapidly going to drop because, like, actually, like, mages have been dropped in and sort of, like, start kicking ass. The fires were caused by the evil mage, by the way. There's other stuff as well, by the way. We have, like, zombies and skeletons. Yes, the skeletons. There's an outpouring of skeletons to sort of, like, mess things up here a little bit. Okay, some giants get awakened. Start ruining, like, the landscape and such. I think there's also a demon. Yep, there's a demon. So. To start, setting everyone on fire. This guy does have HP, by the way, so he could eventually get killed. He flies somewhere else. Apparently the king of ancient Allure got founded over here. Natural disasters, that's basically where you have, like, really, like, threatening stuff basically pop in. Well, it's time to sort of drop the bombs, I guess, so. Here we go. So a bunch of meteors to start dropping in. Also drop bombs. Might kill a whole lot of people. And let's just sort of finish it off. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And now there's only, like, 40 population left. And as you can see, like, lots of devastation from all the bombs. Alright, well, that's basically Worldbox. Main point of this video is basically sort of like think about, like, where would, like, all the races basically be in, like, this game? We basically have, like, New Lawrence basically down here is basically sort of like, suspected, like, them they sort of be. Maybe have, like, a lot of the humans basically sort of, in, like, the center of, like, the map right here. Drop your comments, I guess. But that's it for, like, this one. Hope you guys basically enjoyed it, and, take care.